You know that feeling deep down, that nagging itch that something's off, like the world is moving in a direction, but where it's really headed is hidden from you. Right now, everyone's talking about climate investing, how green funds are the future, how putting money into sustainability means you're doing the right thing, that you're part of the solution. But what if that's just the surface story? What if the real game being played is about changing the rules of capital allocation so quietly, so carefully, that hardly anyone even notices? And what if, as limited partners, you're the key players in this, whether you realize it or not? Here's the thing, you didn't get into this to just follow the herd or tick boxes on a checklist designed by others. You know the pain of trying to pick winners, of sensing the market's shifts but not being able to put your finger on the real forces behind them. You felt the frustration when investments sound good but don't deliver, when impact gets watered down to just another buzzword used to sell products instead of create real change. You've been burned by promises of ethical returns that turned out to be just smoke and mirrors. But what if the rise of climate investing isn't just about saving the planet? What if it's a clever way to quiet the noise about capital's real problems without actually challenging the old power structures? What if green is a new label stuck on the same old game, redirecting money away from where it could cause disruption, away from ventures that shake up the status quo into safer, more controlled pools that keep existing hierarchies comfortable? This matters because you're caught in the middle. Fund managers, GPs, entrepreneurs, they all want your commitment. They paint this picture of climate action as the ultimate rallying cry, but behind the scenes, many are playing it safe. They avoid the truly risky bets that could upend industries for good. Instead, they funnel capital into companies that tick ESG boxes, but rarely upset any real systems. This is where your role, your power, your influence can either keep the cycle going or break it apart. The question is, are you using climate investing to quietly reshape capital allocation in a way that really moves the needle? Or are you becoming part of a slow, invisible squeeze that squeezes out truly transformative investments? You see, limited partners have more control than most realize. You're not just passive players signing off on deals handed to you on a silver platter. You have the ability to challenge GPs, to demand true innovation, to push capital where it's desperately needed, to turn green investing into a force that actually bends the curve of progress. But this requires more than just waving the flag of sustainability or repeating the jargon everyone else chants. It requires ruthless questioning of every assumption. It means being brutally honest when a climate-themed fund is just repackaging business as usual. It means digging into what's really driving returns. Are these companies truly breaking new ground, or just playing by old rules with a green paint job? If you want to make a real impact, here's what must be done. First, don't settle for reports that celebrate incremental improvements. Demand to see how capital is redeploying in ways that disrupt entrenched industries: fossil fuels, big ag, plastics, traditional energy grids. Are your investments funding startups that dare to rethink and rebuild from scratch, or are they slowly tweaking existing models? Look for those ventures attacking the root, not just the branches. Second, insist on transparency and accountability that goes beyond flashy certifications. Track not only carbon footprints, but also power dynamics, who's gaining control, who's being left behind. Every dollar you allocate should tell a story about shifting influence toward a regenerative economy that includes marginalized communities, innovative thinkers, and radical ideas. Third, become expert at spotting smokescreens. Climate investing is exploding, so greed and marketing flood the space. It's easy to get dazzled by impressive pitches, glossy metrics, and superstar founders. But beneath the surface, many projects are designed more for optics than impact. Your job is to read between the lines, to ask the hard questions, and to push for evidence of real-world transformation, not just theory or potential. Fourth, rethink risk tolerance entirely. Traditional LP thinking often shies away from bets that feel too uncertain. Climate investing is sometimes framed as high risk, yet the biggest risk might be waiting on the sidelines, or investing in safe environmental ventures that barely move the needle. The greatest rewards come with disruption, and disruption requires courage, conviction, and yes, the willingness to face loss for the possibility of monumental change. Fifth, connect with the few who burn as you do. Isolation in this space can lead to compromise or confusion. Find your tribe, those LPs, thought leaders, and change makers who refuse the comfort of easy answers. Build alliances that reject the safety of consensus and instead fuel restless ambition to unlearn what's broken and reimagine what's possible. Imagine the power you hold in your hands, not just as guardian of capital, but as catalyst for a new era where money doesn't just flow, but transforms. Where investing in climate means dismantling old systems and unleashing fresh energy from the edges. Where your choices push markets to abandon outdated gatekeepers and invite in the brave, the radical, the pioneering. This is not a future written by committees or consensus. It's a movement for those who refuse to fold under pressure, who burn with the urgency that comforts must never smother, who believe that real freedom in investing lies in the way capital liberates the individual creator, the boundary breaker, the visionary entrepreneur who will reshape what green really means. You're not here for convenience or for the applause of hollow greenwashing campaigns. You're here because you know the world needs something more raw, real, and revolutionary. Because your soul aches seeing talent and ambition wasted on systems too slow to change. Because every dollar you allocate could be a spark that ignites a wildfire of true transformation. So the next time you're handed a climate fund prospectus, don't just read it. Feel it against the pulse of your own doubts and desires. Ask yourself, is this capital quietly maintaining control or truly redefining the game? Are these investments freeing innovators or chaining them to timelines that kill their wildest ideas? Is comfort winning, or is fire burning underneath? If the answer isn't clear, if the data feels thin, if the promises feel rehearsed, push back harder. Demand meetings. Ask for direct insights. Insist on putting your money in the hands of those who dare to be more, not those who play it safe. Remember, your role isn't just to pour capital into the next big thing, but to become the force that dismantles the illusions that block real progress. In a world full of carefully curated narratives, your investment decisions can be the quiet revolution no one sees coming. You hold the keys to unshackle capital from its comfort zones and unleash it into ventures that don't just adjust the world, they reinvent it. The power is yours to use, but only if you reject ease, reject consensus, and dare to lead the charge from the edges. Because that's where progress lives, not at the center, not in the crowd, but with the few who burn with purpose and refuse to settle for anything less than transformation. Climate investing can be the lever that lifts us out of complacency, but only if you wield it not as a shield, but as a sword to cut through the lies and complacency. The world is watching, the future isn't waiting, and your capital is screaming to be unleashed. Don't let it be tamed by quiet control or diluted by safe bets. Use it to make noise where it matters. Use it to rattle the foundations that need shaking. Use it to liberate what's possible. Still feel that tension inside? That voice whispering you were meant for more than a borrowed life? That's not just ambition. It's the pulse of true freedom calling you to act. So don't look away. Don't turn down the volume on your own power. Step into the fire and make climate investing the rebellion that finally rewrites the rules of capital and creates the legacy that matters. This isn't just investing. This is the revolution you were born to lead.